My name is Allison Roach Watson. I've been a Valley Center resident for my entire life, and I am here supporting No on Measure B.
And can you tell me why are you supporting No on Measure B?
My concern about this measure is actually the safety of Valley Center residents. I am a survivor of the 2003 wildfires, the Cedar and Paradise fires, and in my experience in those fires out here in Valley Center, an increase in traffic and residents is a real concern for safety in an evacuation situation.
Okay, now can you tell me how long have you been a resident in Valley Center?
I've lived in Valley Center actually my entire life. We moved out here when I was 3 years old.
Okay, and can you tell me something about the roads out here? You know, it seems to be a real issue.
Well, when you think about a rural community like this, there's really not a lot of street lights. There's not a lot of stop signs. But because of the increase in the residents, there's a lot of traffic. But the roads have not been really accommodated for that increase in traffic.
I see. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your experience during that 2003 fire? Would you like to elaborate?
Absolutely. The fire in 2003 caught everybody by surprise. Our family was extremely well prepared. We had a very close connection with the fire department, and they actually helped us practice our evacuation plan. But on that morning, because of the Santa Ana winds, because of the canyon out in the reserve, Hellhole Canyon Reserve, it actually created its own weather pattern, and it caught most of Valley Center by surprise. And even though we were prepared to evacuate, we had less than 30 seconds to get a very large distance away, and we were not fast enough.
I see. Now, could you give me an idea how many people were on that road trying to get out?
It's really hard to say exactly how many people there were trying to escape Valley Center, but there are only really 3 roads to get into Valley Center. There's the road from the freeway, there's the road up Lake Wolford Road, and then there's the Valley Center grade, or the main road into Valley Center. And when everybody in Valley Center is trying to take those small 3 roads, it was a bottleneck, and it really stopped a lot of people stuck in their cars.
Now, can you tell me, one of the problems is that we have in Valley Center is that we have so many animals. We have horses, we have cattle, we've got our pets, and they present a real problem when we're trying to evacuate. And during that fire, during 2003 and 2007 fire, it was my understanding that a lot of those animals were loose, running around on the roads. They were doing their very best to gather them together because the animals themselves panicked. Can you say anything about that?
Well, in my case, the fire hit our family so early on that we didn't really have an issue with animals. But the issue we had was there was so much smoke and so many people trying to evacuate at once. It was the human lives that were actually causing traffic, not the animals. And that's actually a really big concern. From what I'm being told about this development that's being looked into, is that if there is ever going to be an evacuation similar to 2003 or 2007, that it might take residents up to 2 hours to get out. And if that's the case, can you imagine 2 hours trying to get away from your home? Most of the people that passed away in the 2003 wildfires died in their cars trying to get out, my sister included. And that is not a safe answer to any of our housing situations.
Okay, this property was originally zoned for 100 homes. Now they're telling us they're going to put 1,746 homes in there. Personally, myself, I think it's unbelievable that they're going to put that many people in those narrow roads with so few escape routes, that I'm hoping that we won't have another incident like 2003.
We can only pray and we can only fight for our safety. It's really the only way that we can stop anything like 2003 and 2007 from happening again, is to stand up and take a stand on situations like these.
Now, can you tell me the extent of your injuries? Can you tell me what the extent of your injuries were? How long it's taken you to recover?
Well, I was burned 2nd and 3rd degree over 86% of my body. I lost all 10 of my fingers at the first joint. I lost most of my left ear, most of my upper lip, and a portion of my nose. I was initially in the hospital at UCSD burn unit for 2 months, and then I transferred to Palomar Medical Center for my acute rehab. And so my initial stay in the hospital was 4 months, although it would have been longer, but I was blessed that my mother was a nurse and they allowed me to go home in her care and continue my rehab through her. I think my last surgery that was burn injury related or scar tissue related was, I think, 2007, 2008, I believe, somewhere in there. And so I've had about 30 surgeries and over a 4-year time period.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say about this particular development that they're trying to build out there? As a closing statement, what would you like to tell the people?
I completely understand the need for more housing. I'm in that same situation where you want more affordable housing. I'm in that generation. We need it too. But, we've got to find a safer way to find that affordable housing. I just don't think that this community is going to be the answer to what we're really in need of in this county.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
And I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jack Fox, and I've been a resident of Valley Center for 16 years. And I'm against the development of 1,700 homes on acreage that will only allow 110 according to the general plan. The general plan was cost the taxpayers $18 million, and we need to make the plan work for the community that we live in. The roads are definitely not wide enough or have the capacity to handle 1,746 more homes and the traffic that it'll generate. The fire protection will not be there, and fire is one of the most concerning issues in the community. So we need to vote no on B if we want to protect our families, if we want to protect the wildlife, we want to protect the agriculture. We don't need 1,700 homes and a city the size of Del Mar in the middle of a valley center where the location is definitely not the place for it to be.